Hello, people. It's Liverpool 1, Arsenal 0. Ben, when you walked in, it's the first time, as you told everyone, the viewers on our first debut show today, that this is the first time that you've met me and Gene. But I didn't realise how tall you were. So I'm going to put the mic here today. Yeah. But you know what? That's how tall Dominik Szoboszlai and how tall Liverpool are after the third game. What a day, what a match, and what a goal.
Oh man, I'm an emotional wreck. Honestly, Liverpool just don't do it easy for us, do they? You know, I was fully expecting us to come here today and sort of like, right, okay, we're champions, we're going to put on a performance, we're going to show everyone what we're all about. And that first half was real graft, real grind, very, very difficult. Arsenal, you know, compressed the space, won all the 50-50s. We were disjointed. We had no fluency. We couldn't win any second balls. It was just ugly all over the pitch. And yeah, they had to grind it out and they had to find a way, but that's what champions do. I know we'll say it a million times over, but we found a way to win. And the second half was much improved, certain individuals, much better performances. So Jones was superb second half when he come on the pitch. He's been lambasted many times in the past, and he had a great second half. But you know what? It's just about the results. And as I say, we've said it a million times, but it's about the results.
Just on that first half, Ben, I've been saying sabr karo, patience,
yes,
for different reasons, for different people.
For a certain Swede.
For a certain Swede, for a certain Englishman as well. A certain captain who's currently playing is 0-0 with Aston Villa v Palace. But, who's got a penalty? Villa got a penalty. Palace. Mateta. Give it to Gehi. But sabr karo, were we overreacting in the first half? Because it's only week 3. We don't want to. What Gene been saying is you can't win titles, but you can certainly lose them in week 3. It was important not to lose, but what was more important, Ben, is to see what Arsenal are going to do today.
Yeah, I think, you know, we probably need to, once we've calmed down and took a step back and, you know, watched the game again or seen the highlights and whatnot, you probably look at it and think, Arsenal, you know, they bullied and they pressed and they pushed, but they didn't break us down that much, really. They didn't have many clear opportunities. I know we obviously didn't either, but, you know, and I suppose the caveat as well is that Arsenal had no Saka, they had no Odegaard, and then they lost Saliba early doors. So, you know, you'd think the onus is on us to go and dominate the game and take it to Arsenal. But they did have a 3-man defensive midfield. They had Moreno, they had Rice, and they had Zubamendi in midfield. Very compact, very physical. And it's difficult to break down.
100%. And if you don't get the result, then Ben, then questions are going to be asked of you.
Exactly, yeah. And I just think, you know, we said it a few times. Obviously, Florian's still getting used to the pace of the Premier League. Unbelievably intense game. He went down with cramp in the second half. Timber went down with cramp. There was a few people who were going down. So it was a very intense game for this early on in the season. And I think come May, you're not thinking about the performance. You're just thinking about the results. And I think at this stage of the season, it's about results on the board. And that's huge psychologically for us.
There was an interesting battle. We'll come to Gomez, we'll come to Sobo, we'll come to Virgil, we'll come to Curtis Jones shortly, Ben. But I thought there was an interesting battle between Madueke and Kerkez, and they went along a few times, and Madueke is just a constant threat. But I thought Milos Kerkez, in his 1v1 defending, we've seen him on the floor, we've seen him on his ass a few times, but I thought he kept his cool today, and he went, if he had to go in with a slide tackle, he's chosen moment. I thought he grew into the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's obviously been under the cosh first 2 games. He's moving to one of the biggest clubs in the world. He's not playing for Bournemouth now, so it's a huge adjustment period. You can see he's got the raw ability, he's got the pace, he's got the energy. You know, he's definitely a talented player, and there was a reason why he was the best left back in the country last season. But moving to a club like Liverpool, a totally different kettle of fish, different system, different setup, and I thought he grew into the game and he dealt with Madueke really well, who I thought, to be fair to Madueke, I was very impressed. You know, he ran at Kerkez loads. He was an outball. He was a threat in behind. I wasn't impressed with him at all for Chelsea last season. Probably half the reason why they sold him to Arsenal. But I thought he did a really good job in the absence of Saka, and he was a real threat that we had to contain. And I thought as the game went on, Kerkez dealt with him more and more as the game got on. And then ultimately they put Max Darman on, who obviously everyone's raving about, and he had him in his back pocket. So yeah, he was much improved from Kerkez.
Let's go on the other side. Dominik Szoboszlai. Have you got any superlatives that you haven't used to describe his performance today?
He is just the ultimate professional in the fact that, you know, there's not many players who can put in that sort of a performance against that level of opposition in a position that he's probably never played in, and that to me showed why he's the captain of Hungary at the age that he is, because he's versatile, he works hard. Some of his long raking passes from left to right were absolutely first class. He dug in, he battled, he headed the ball away, he done a brilliant job, and then obviously he topped it off with that phenomenal free kick, which I think I said just before he took it, that he owes us one really now. You know, he's scored so many brilliant goals for Hungary, and it's like, let's give him a chance to score one for us. And obviously a certain other individual took a lot of set pieces up until he left at the end of the season. So Szoboszlai now, that's his... You know, he's made himself prime candidate now to be able to do that a few more times this season. But, you know, a majestic winner. A majestic winner.
Let's go to Gomez. I thought it was a really, really good cameo from him. He won headers. He recovered in certain positions as well. He read the game really well. And it was that moment of the game where it was roll your sleeves up and manage the game. And he was in the thick of it, I thought, Ben.
Yeah, I said it just at the end of the game. I love Joe Gomez. You know, I'm so frustrated for him and disappointed for him that he can't stay fit, because in my opinion he's at the same level as Mark Gay, who obviously we're being heavily linked with, but the big difference is he just can't stay fit. But when he come onto the pitch, I felt so more assured, I felt comfortable, and he won his battles, he won his headers. He when he needed to be calm on the ball, he was. And yeah, I know there's big talk that we might sell him to Milan if we do bring in Gueye, but I'd keep him as just an extra option, a versatile option. He can play right, he can play left, he can play centre back. I love him. So yeah, if that was to be his last performance for us in a red shirt, then I wish him all the best. But yeah, he played his part in us getting the 3 points.
Mission 1 complete, Ben. 2 more missions left. Time is ticking.
It is indeed, mate. Yeah, it is. It's going to be a wild transfer deadline day. I think notoriously Liverpool don't do business on the last day, but given the scenario that we're in, given the situation that we're in, I think everything has been lined up for tomorrow. So let's just all keep our fingers crossed that our DOF and our recruitment team know what they're doing, and they go and get it done. I'd like to think that Gueye will probably get done now after he finishes this game. Fingers crossed he doesn't get it.
We should complete it at half time. We've got 15 minutes to talk to him.
Yeah, fingers crossed. But yeah, with Isak, to me, it just feels as though, obviously you can never say never, and you don't know what's going to happen. There might be a curveball, but everything feels as though it's been lined up to make sense that he comes to the Reds. So if we can get that result that we've got today, and then top it off with signing one of the best nines in the world tomorrow, then my word, we're setting ourselves up for a wonderful season.
A wonderful season. We'll catch you in the next one. That was Ben. We see you soon.